EO, we're going to be forming an internal working group to make to make America the world capital in crypto under your leadership.
Which is really going up, right?
Absolutely.
All right, David, that's for you.
Thanks, sir.
You find them exciting? They might not be exciting, but they're going to make a lot of money for the country.
Thank you, sir.
And so is David. You have to check him out. There's nobody like this guy. They said, how did you get David Sachs? How did you do that? And he's doing it for the country more than anything else. So we appreciate it, David. Thank you.
You mentioned crypto earlier. I think it's impossible to have a great conversation with Larry while talking about crypto. What you did with your ETF is incredible, truly incredible. And I actually believe crypto is a currency of AI. We spoke about earlier how soon enough all of us will have multiple agents, AI agents working for us. They're going to inform us, they're going to support us, they're going to make transactions on our behalf. Yeah. So worldwide, there will be explosion of financial transactions 24/7. The traditional banks, the SWIFT system, cannot support that. So crypto will play a bigger and bigger role in the age of AI.
But at the same time, we're going to digitize currencies very rapidly. And we've seen that in India and the great success of leveling in India because of that. And you're seeing the great success in Brazil. So there are two countries that are more advanced in these technology in blockchain than Europe and the United States right now. And that's India and Brazil. They had a need because of inflation, because of corruption. They needed to digitize their currency. And I do believe this is going to accelerate. And that's going to be the next frontier, using AI, using this. But crypto is going to play a big role. The digitization of currency, digitization of everything we're doing. I'm a big believer, and this is one thing that will change Bloomberg even. I believe we're going to be in the cutting edge of tokenizing bonds and stocks.
Coming.
And we have the technology now. The fact that we are now moving forward in tokenization, every bond and stock, is crazy. Yeah. We should be moving towards that frontier. Obviously, there's winners and losers and all that, but we need to be prepared for the tokenization. And it would democratize more finance if we tokenized bonds and stocks.
The man the president says is the man. David, thank you for joining us, first of all. Second of all, is this promises made, promises kept? Because Donald Trump said on July 27th that he would stop federal agencies from targeting the crypto industry. He made good on that promise today, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, President Trump campaigned to be the first crypto president. He gave a now famous speech in Nashville where he described how he was going to change the regulatory environment for crypto. And he has now acted on that promise. He signed this executive order today. He's directed our working group to produce a regulatory framework that's going to encourage innovation in crypto in the United States, keeping the industry onshore rather than driving it offshore, which is what was happening under the Biden administration.
I want to get to that framework in just a second. First, the executive order halts what President Trump calls aggressive enforcement actions and overreach. What is he talking about there?
Yeah, well, Edward, for the last 4 years, the Biden administration has basically prosecuted and persecuted crypto companies, really driving them offshore. I've heard so many outrageous stories by founders, by entrepreneurs. The Biden administration would not tell them what the rules of the road were, and they would then get prosecuted. And what the industry wants more than anything else is regulatory clarity. They're saying, just tell us what the rules are, we will abide by them. And the Biden administration would never do that. And because of that, all the innovation was basically moving offshore, and America was about to lose this technology of the future. And we want that innovation happening here in the United States, and I think it now will happen in the United States because President Trump has declared that the U.S. must be the crypto capital of the world.
So this executive order bans agencies from developing a central bank digital currency. Why is that?
Well, CBDCs are a real threat to freedom and liberty. What you're talking about there is moving to a central bank digital currency that would be run out of Washington by the Fed and would basically gradually replace cash and catalog everybody's transactions, and it could lead to new laws and dictates about how people spend their money. So I think people are very concerned that that could be an Orwellian path to go down. No one wants to go down that path. And I think we can create stable coins, basically digital dollars, without doing that. So the executive order is really clear. We want to create a regulatory framework for stable coins, but we don't want to go down the path of CBDCs.
But a digital currency for a government could be competition to Bitcoin. Did that play into that decision?
Well, I mean, any government can create a stable coin. So, but I think the U.S. Dollar is already the world's reserve currency. So I'm not really worried about competition there. I just want to extend, or I believe that what we should be doing is extending the dollar's dominance into digital areas, extend it online. And I think that could actually create trillions of dollars of demand for U.S. treasuries. It could be really useful to us in basically supporting our debt and also bringing down long-term interest rates.
You are also the AI, the artificial intelligence czar. The executive order was signed on that, making U.S. the capital of artificial intelligence. What does that mean going forward?
Well, like the president said at Davos today, we want to be number one. We want to be the global capital in artificial intelligence as well as crypto. These are two areas that are absolutely vital for the future. They're both cutting-edge technologies. The Biden administration had passed this 100-plus page EO of burdensome regulation. It was just unnecessarily cumbersome. The industry hated it. They were complaining about it. President Trump promised to rescind that Biden EO. He's done that now, and we're going to replace it with something much better.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And also, guys, make sure you go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And I had to switch up my whole video, the topic that I had on, because David Sachs had an interview. And we have Trump signing the crypto executive order. And I want to say congratulations to those who have passed another psychological warfare. Bitcoin and crypto was only used for illegal activity. But guys, you know, I proved it time and time again. The big banks and big corporations were funding crypto from the beginning. And Trump signs an executive order to speed up this digital dollar. The executive order says no CBDC, but guys, we know a CBDC is definitely coming, but the people never know they're using it. Remember, a CBDC is nothing but a digital dollar, and the Fed still controls the money supply. And the digital dollars we see now, what do they have to buy? That's right, U.S. Treasuries. It keeps the Fed in control. But all you have to do is look up Enbridge. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have Ping talking about crypto is for the AI agents. And he sounded like Bruce Lee. Larry Fink had to step in because he was giving out too much information. And of course, Larry Fink says that all these currencies are going to be tokenized. And remember, they want everything tokenized and put on blockchain. So the robots, algorithms, and drones can take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have David Sachs, the crypto czar, is going to be laying out the rules. And again, he talks about that digital dollar. And guys, we know a digital dollar with a smart contract, they can tell you what, when, and how to buy, and you have 3 to 6 months to spend them, or poof, it's gone. And we know that is biblical. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Trump on hiring, merit-based, color blind. And remember, guys, color is for crayons. You go off of your nationality. Everybody in the United States is American. You're not a crayon. That was made up in the 16th and 17th century. Those who have the NWO book understand that. The word white is a legal term meaning free. That's the reason why if you come over here from Egypt, Arabs, they consider themselves white because they're a free person. I'm not going to get into that. But if you fell for it, you better unfall for it. Because the fact is that when the robots, algorithms, and drones take over, they're going to be hiring you. So it doesn't matter your color. That was all a solution for the divide and conquer so we could end here. The NWO has bought up everything. They control everything. So while you were busy fussing and fighting each other, they were running the money in the back door. And you can go on social media. When people hear this, because they're not conscious, you have white on one side, black on the other, not knowing that it's not for neither one of you. It is definitely hilarious. And the divide and conquer works every time. The Hegelian dialectic works every time. So why would the NWO ever change it? It's a guaranteed playbook. And we have Martin Luther King. Of course, Martin Luther King and John F. Kennedy. Assassinations are being declassified along with Robert F. Kennedy. But Martin Luther King Jr. used to speak about this topic all the time, especially later on once he woke up. And that's the reason why he got the kapow. And we know why JFK got the kapow. And they can release information like this because majority of the people that actually care are gone. 99.9% of the people can care less. And that's the unfortunate society that we live in. And these are people who try to make it better for the masses, but we know the masses can care less, and the NWO knows that. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. Not because it's not there, because they reject it. And the Most High is going to forget those children. And we're seeing it today, and it's about to get worse. And Trump's job is to give you that illusion that he's bringing back the Most High's laws, but really he's going to land you in the fourth industrial revolution. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Yeah, so a few areas. So number one, market structure. We need to define what is a security, what's a commodity, what's a digital asset or collectible. So there's a few different categories here. So defining the market structure is important. Second area is stable coins. I think stable coins are a really interesting area. It gives us the opportunity to extend the dollar's dominance internationally. We can basically create a digital dollar that people all over the world will use. And then the third area that we're going to look at is we're evaluating this national stockpile for digital assets. We haven't created it yet, but we're going to study that issue.
So looking at the stockpile, haven't made the decision to go forward? Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. Yeah, we're going to evaluate that. We have not decided to do it yet. But we need to study that.
Is crypto an asset or a currency then?
Well, when you're talking about digital assets, it can be multiple things. I mean, you've got digital assets that are securities. You've got digital assets that are commodities. You've got digital assets that are collectibles, like NFTs or meme coins. So, you're talking about a whole vast area of innovation. And so digital assets can be a number of different things. And that's why you need a clear regulatory framework that says, which areas are which. What are the definitions? And that's what founders need. Founders just need clarity around those definitions. They need to know what the rules of the road are so that they can abide by those rules and be confident that if they succeed in the United States, they're not going to get arbitrarily prosecuted.
So how far is the U.S. behind, do you believe, the rest of the world, and how fast will this help catch up?
We're going to catch up really fast. I mean, the innovation was starting to move offshore. There are places like Singapore, even places in Europe that were ahead of us. But now I think it's going to change very fast. Really, if you look at Silicon Valley and the technology industry in general, the U.S. leads in virtually every category, and crypto is one of the few exceptions. And I think that's going to be very, very quickly rectified because of President Trump's executive order today.
I want to get your take on the Trump coin, which started right before he took office. Are you concerned about a conflict of interest there?
I don't think so. I think the Trump coin is a collectible. Like I mentioned, there's different categories of digital assets. That's a collectible. It's like a baseball card or a stamp. People buy it because they want to commemorate something. So this is just my personal opinion. I'm not a regulator, but my personal opinion is that it's totally fine.
So this is about reforming the system of hiring in the federal government to ensure that merit is the lodestar of hiring decisions
as per the Supreme Court.
Other matters. Yes, sir.
Here's a big deal, merit. Our country is going to be based on merit again. Can you believe it? We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. Forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. With the recent yet somewhat unexpected great Supreme Court decision just made, America will once again become a merit-based country. You have to hear that word, merit-based country.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're going to get more right now with Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. Sonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The Stock Channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Xrp, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.